This is Hit Nights live right across Australia with Keegs, joined in the studio by a absolute musical legend. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm fangirling a little bit. I'm very excited. Mr. Mark Ronson is here. Hello.
Hey, I'm also excited and a little bit nervous, so we're even there.
I figured you would be. Obviously, this is a huge deal for you.
Also, because like this is like I know you guys play my music, and I see the logo, the avatar on Instagram or Twitter when you post things from it. So it's like it's funny to actually be in this studio live because I just know your logo from like when you like post like, hey, coming up in 10 minutes.
Really? So you're actually on there looking at radio stations around the world posts?
Hell yes,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Welcome to Australia. You've
Thank
come
you.
down. This has been, I imagine, a very busy week for you. You've been doing a lot of promo. You've been doing, you've been on the TV. You've been doing your
Couple Club
the
Heartbreak
club
DJ gigs,
Club
yeah.
Heartbreak DJ gigs,
I
which
think the one last night in Melbourne was maybe the best though. It really was special. I had such a good time. Maybe I'm just like getting a little bit better, like learning what that set is as well.
yeah.
But it was last night was kind of magic.
Are you? By the way, I should point out where this is a national radio show. Even though we're recording in Melbourne,
Yes.
you don't have to say that Melbourne is the best. if
Okay,
you
well
don't
it's
want.
not. It's definitely not the best. No, no, no. I think what it was is Sydney was incredible, and then I forgot that Melbourne also has like its own vibe as well. So it was like it just was special. Melbourne's the first city I ever came to, and I like came to make music with Daniel Merriweather back 15 years ago. You know, like I have a connection with this city as well.
How did that come about? Why Melbourne?
I just heard Daniel's demos, and he was just amazing. This 18-year-old Australian kid at the time, this kid from Melbourne, and I just came to the studio to come out here to work with him. And I remember just being like, "Wait, there's this magic city with every street has a record shop and a cafe. Like, what is this place? This is my dream." So, I was always like very like I thought Melbourne's cool.
The fact that you got on a plane and came out to work, like collaborate with someone, is that something you would still do had you been like if you were at that point in your career today in 2019? Because the beautiful thing about today, obviously, is you can produce records from so far away, and you have people who have never met working on music together because of the internet.
Yes,
Was it an
that
ethos decision for you to do that, or was it just because of would you do it differently
I
today?
th- I think there was like something about like I heard this kid's voice and it was so exciting I came over. But yes, I am probably one of the and listen, so many great music songs. I mean that are made over the internet, sending files back and forth. I personally love being in the room. I think that the when you're in the room with the artist, there's like a little alchemy. There's something that happens. Like I can't imagine like a song not to be like name droppy, but like a song like "Shallow" would not have happened over the internet. Like that's
Oh yeah,
four
the Oscar-winning
people.
song. There we go. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, you mean sorry, was that?
So yeah, that Oscar-winning song that you just.
My bad.
I
No,
should point out as well, you just picked up that horribly out of tune guitar that was laying around the office, tuned it in about 10 seconds by ear, and just whipped that out. So that's very impressive.
thank you very
Sorry,
much.
continue.
Okay. I tuned it with an app just because I can't lie anymore
okay,
at this point
alright.
in my life. I've just lied for too long.
Okay.
But yes, I do love being in the room because I do think there's like an energy and inspiration that I feed off, and there's like a thing when you have like a personal connection. But then like Gnarls Barkley Crazy was made across the internet, and that's an amazing song. Was just CeeLo and Danger Mouse sending files back and forth. So I think whatever works for you. But I love the connection like with the artist. And also they're like, who wouldn't want to be in a room with Miley Cyrus? Like she's the one of the most fun, interesting, entertaining people ever. It's like so that idea of like getting to spend that time with those people too is like it's not all work, you know?
Yeah, I find that this concept fascinating. You are the guitar's out again. You're a songwriter, producer. Just mentioned Oscar winner now and
Guitar tuner.
Grammy winner, guitar tuner with an app. Um, but possibly above all, you're a collaborator. You work with so many people.
Yeah.
How do you go? Do you find it's challenging to adjust your style of how you produce, how you write for each artist you work with, or does it work the other way where they have to kind of come around to the Mark Ronson way of doing things?
I think it's like when I'm working on somebody else for their record, like producing a record for Lady Gaga or Queens of the Stone Age or whoever, you're going into their world because you're there to like help them and like prop them up to make their songs or their ideas or whatever they want to bring across as good as possible. When it's my record, I'm not trying to drag anyone like kicking and screaming into my world, but there's definitely this sense of like people are a little bit more willing to like do something they might not usually do because they're like with Late Night Feelings, I told everyone I'm making this breakup record. I want to make these songs to kind of like have a little drama, a little emotion, and then maybe a little sadness, but I still want them to, to bang. So, everybody's kind of like cool to, and like with Leaky Lee, with like Late Night Feelings, that song, like there's a little gothy, moody part with 808s in the middle, because that's what she does in her music. Like I love giving these people like like involving what makes them so great, and then hopefully trying to do something that neither of us have ever done on our own before as well.
Did you come into Late Night Feelings knowing who you were going to work with, and then going after them, or did it sort of evolve around as it progressed?
It definitely evolved as it progressed. I didn't probably even really know, like Late Night Feelings was probably the first song that we wrote for the album, and actually that was during a Silk City session,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, wait, this is a little dark and deep, and I like this, and I never done something like that on my own record, maybe something a little like not so up and happy, and then it just started to evolve, and then by the time I met the singer Yeba, who's on the album quite a lot and on one of my favorite songs, Don't Leave Me Lonely, then I was like, okay, here's these two songs that feel like great dance floor breakup vibes, and so then and then just kind of the rest of it unfolded. Miley I'd been chasing for quite a long time to work on music with, so I was very happy when she finally texted me back after 4 years.
4 years of not texting you back.
Well,
How
like,
does Miley? How persistent were you? What's ballpark?
okay,
The how people say on
heavy
your
in the,
iPhone you've got the blue to grey ratio.
I was heavy in the blue, definitely heavy in the blue. I think that would be like, hey, I just saw you sing on TV because I saw you sing a country version of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, and I was like obsessed. And so I was like, I just saw you sing this thing, and it's so great. And if you ever want to make music, like nothing back, like 3 days maybe, like just to not look stalker, like just checking in, like, and then maybe there'd be like an emoji back, but like no acknowledgement of like anything that I written. And
An
then
emoji, just an emoji. What emoji does Miley reply with?
probably like a weed leaf and a Spanish lady spinning. And so then I would wait and then try in like 2 months, because I know everybody's busy with their own lives. Like I never would like
Yeah.
try to come down. And then I knew she liked Tame Impala, so whenever Kevin was in town, I'd try and use him as bait. I'd be like, just in the studio with Kevin Parker, and then finally, but she says it in a very very well put thing. If we had made a song before this, before the life experience that we had, like it would have been a totally different song. Definitely might not have been a bad song, but it wouldn't have been Nothing Breaks. And it's cool that it happened when it did.
When you said you heard her perform 50 Ways and you knew that you wanted to get her, when you heard that performance, did you immediately go, did you hear Nothing Breaks, or what did you hear?
No, I definitely did. I just heard the rasp in her voice and the country twang that I hadn't noticed in the songs like We Can't Stop, and so I was just like, it was just the voice. That's all you're ever looking for, and like something that's so arresting, and then you don't really know what you're gonna make. And I certainly wouldn't have ever thought I was gonna make like a partly country tune either. Like I think it was just like all these things kind of unfolded as the record was being made, but like you just have to follow like the first instinct maybe sometimes, and then just see what else unfolds.
Have you figured out, after all these years of writing and producing, have you worked out a secret recipe, a formula of how to make a hit or how to make a song that really connects with people? Because, I mean, you keep doing it again and again. Have you
I've had a lot.
codified it yet?
I've had a lot of songs that aren't. So like I mean there's obviously no, if there was like a thing, like they tried to do it on the internet, like I mean on the computer software, to like make a song that would be a hit, because they like take things that are appealing to the human ear. Like there's just no way. It's like, because there's so much human inspiration and vibe that goes into these things.
It's a beautiful thing about music, isn't it?
It's amazing, yeah. And so I think what I try and do is you try and write something that comes from like a really pure, honest place, and then you can dress it up with the nice ear candy and the dressing and the heavy kick drum to like make sure it has a shot.
Yeah.
But the first thing just has to feel right in the room. And the songs that I've been involved with that have been like maybe the biggest like hits, like maybe Locked Out or Uptown Funk, like they don't sound like anything else on the radio when they come out, so they're always a little risky anyway. Like the label's always a bit like, we don't know if this is gonna go. It's a bit different, but and then you just have to like believe in it.
Yeah. Just to switch gear very slightly, you talked about the club sets you've been doing. You did Sydney and then Melbourne last night. Do you have any? I mean, I'm about to spin some tunes on the radio tonight.
Yes.
How can I replicate? What are your DJ tips?
Okay, so basically the nice thing about Club Heartbreak is it gives this like kind of parameters of these like sad bangers. Like it has to be kind of emotional dance music. So they're like, we play everything from obvious things being like Drake, Hold On, We're Going Home, Miss Jackson, Outkast, Late Night Feelings, Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, Jolene, Old Town Road. Like things that just have that little twinge of the melancholy. Better Now, Post Malone. Like it could be anything, it could be any era, but just that vibe that like gives you a little bit like, yeah, I got my heart smashed into a million pieces, but like I'm gonna dance and have a good time tonight.
Yeah, that perfectly encapsulated by the image of the disco ball heart as
Yeah,
well. That
yeah.
yeah, did that come into your head before you started the record? Because that's a
You,
perfect visual metaphor for
yeah, I got it
sad
tattooed
bangers.
actually.
Oh wow.
So what happened was while we were doing the album, I was kind of working on this like this. We had the Sad Banger concept, and I thought like let's just put a few speakers in the lounge there at our studio. It like fits
Mm.
40 people, and invite people over and have some DJs play our favorite sad bangers. And that was happening while the record was going on. And I called my friend Brody, who's a artist. He lives in Perth, and he was like, I was like, can you just make me up a disco ball in the shape of a broken heart with like a crack through the middle? And then he made a really lovely design. So yeah.
Beautiful. What's next? What's on the rest of the agenda? We're in the second half of 2019.
Yes. Are we officially in the second half? Yeah, we sure
Yeah.
are. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go to New York and work with Yeba a little bit on her album. I'm gonna get some more shows together. I don't know, working. I got some stuff in the studio. I've been in the studio with a couple of people who are on Late Night Feelings, so on their stuff like Camila Cabello and Alicia Keys, and just work. I might take a little, like a week off too. Like I don't know. Like it's been so much fun. It doesn't feel like work coming here to do shows, but I haven't had a chance to maybe stop for a minute. So
Mm.
yeah,
Well, we appreciate you coming out to
of
Australia. I know
course,
it's a very busy week getting all
I
this
love it.
promo in, the Club Heartbreak shows, and it's amazing you come down and share it with us in person. It's been a privilege to have you, Mark
Thanks
Ronson.
so
Thank you
much.
so much for joining us.
Thank you.